Wow, it's absolutely amazing to be on here with Anna Kennedy. I've heard so much about you and all the inspirational work you do revolving around autism and giving the support to kids and adults as well. And that's just absolutely amazing. And you know, you're an inspiration to many people. And it's really got me, you know, searching more things revolving around autism, around 1 in 100 people us like have it, and over 700,000 people in the UK are autistic or have signs of it, and it's really got me thinking about it, and it's really interesting, and what you do is really saving a lot of lives, and I just hope that you know that because what you're doing is for the greater good, and it's absolutely amazing, and I wish you all the best for the future projects that you do because it's absolutely amazing. So yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Nick. And it's lovely to finally meet you because
Yeah.
obviously we've been chatting on Twitter
Yeah.
and it's been a few years now and you've been supporting my projects and I've been trying to support your projects.
Mm.
You look really well. I just wanted to say that, and thank you for inviting me. And yeah, it's been quite a roller coaster journey for me for quite a number of years, but what I try to do is make a difference, and I always try my best, and I think that's all that anyone can do, is as long as you put your heart and soul into something, you feel passionate about your cause, I think that it goes in the right direction. Sometimes you might make mistakes, but hey, you learn from your mistakes. So a little bit of advice for you, so don't sort of beat yourself up if you feel like, oh, I could have done that better or whatever. There's always room for improvement, so just keep going and do what makes you happy and drives you.
Yeah, 100%. All you have to do is just do your best. Especially when either you're entering a competition or you're just trying to strive in life with your education, your job. You always have to just do your best, and that's all you can do.
At
And
least if you know you've done your best, you couldn't have done any more.
yeah, you know, yeah, you'll always be happy with yourself as soon as you do that. So, yeah. Now, could you tell us a bit about your journey for all those who might not know you 100%? So, could you tell us a bit about your journey and what led you here today?
Yes, it's been a long journey. I have two sons, and they're both on the autism spectrum. Patrick's 30 now, and Angelo's 27. He's quite profoundly affected by his autism. He's got a sensory processing condition and nocturnal epilepsy, hence why I haven't had much sleep. So that's why I'm looking a bit tired today. They are, as I say, both on the spectrum, and there was not a lot of support all those years ago, 22, 23 years ago. And, you know, I know people are still struggling now to try and get a diagnosis, try and find the right type of school. And once they get to adulthood, they're looking for employment or going to college or university. But back then, again, there was just not a lot of support for us. So once my boys were sort of age 5 and 8 and were diagnosed, the school that they were going to, which was a mainstream school, said that they couldn't meet their needs. So they ended up at home. So we turned our garage into a classroom. And then we only received 5 hours home tuition for each of my sons from the local authority. And it made me very frustrated because everything I was reading about was early intervention. And all these years down the line, I can really put my hand on my heart to say how important early intervention is for children and adults, because obviously there's better outcomes down the line. And the school that we opened, because of my boys being at home, is now sort of 21, 22 years old. 500 children have been educated at the school, aged between 3 and 19. And as my boys were getting older, I knew that Angelo wouldn't be able to cope within a mainstream college because of the difficulties that he had. So we decided to set up a vocational college, which now has over 60 adults. And then because of a gentleman that I met where his son was in a mental health unit, we decided to set up a residential home. So there were 7 adults at the home. And then as time went on, parents were contacting me about difficulties that they were having, very much the same as 10 years down the line when I started. So that's why I decided to set up the charity, Anna Kennedy Online. It was just going to be a magazine type platform, website, if you like, where people at night time, you know, might be having a cup of tea, a piece of cake, and they were searching for information. But then it evolved into other things, into campaigns, So anti-bullying campaign, which has been going for quite a few years now, and worked with Esther Ranson, worked with the Anti-Bullying Alliance, and we called our campaign "Give Us a Break." And you've kindly supported that campaign for us, but we've never changed the title because I feel that it's a title that people recognise. So it's about, you know, I just get so frustrated when I read about children and adults being bullied within the autism community. And now, I'm sorry to say, it's on the increase, and that's because of lockdown, COVID, where a lot more children and adults are at home, so they're online more. So I'm seeing a rise from parents talking to me about it, about their children being bullied, and also an increase in mate crime, where they're being used for, well, let's say, for example, they want to make friends, you know, as everybody does, but then they tend to get in the wrong crowd, and then they manipulated and used for mate crime, which is very, very sad. And I recently went to a prison for young offenders, and I was speaking to the governor, and he said to me that, you know, mate crime is definitely on the increase, and that's just very, very sad to hear. So yeah, so in a snapshot, because of my son's diagnosis, I decided to set up a provision for children and adults, because there wasn't much at all at the time when they were diagnosed. And obviously the website now and the charity is growing, and I have so many amazing ambassadors, patrons, charity champions, and they all volunteer their precious time for me, which I'm so grateful for, and we're a fantastic team.
That's absolutely amazing, and as I said before, I wish you all the best for the future as well. But
Thank you.
when I hear about these things, all the problems that need to be solved, there's normally someone who's had to go through the pain and um, has experienced without any help, just like you. And you know, it really has to be sorted before that. And you're doing absolutely amazing, helping other families that might not know how to handle certain situations or might not know anything about what autism is. And, you know, like someone has to experience it firsthand. Like when I was first born and I was diagnosed with a CMN, I think it was like
Hmm.
one in a couple 100,000 people had it, and it's not known. And my mum didn't receive any help with it, so she had to seek out, find new people. But now there is more help out there, and I think it's CMN unfortunately has become more of a regular thing, but that means more people know about it and more people can help each other, and that's exactly what happened with you. Because did you get a lot of help when your children were first diagnosed?
Not much support at all, I'm afraid, because there wasn't a lot of information out there. I suppose one of the best things that I received was Portage, and that's when they basically work with families of children under 5. And I made friends with my Portage worker, and we've known each other for years now. So that was a great support to me. Um, I'd say now, what's fantastic, I know that social media can get some negative feedback, but it can also be really, really positive. And what I think we've created amongst a lot of families and adults is a virtual autism community, so that when parents or adults feel that they're isolated or they're struggling or they want information, everybody comes on board to support. So say, for example, on my Facebook page, somebody might ask me, Anna, do you know of an out-of-school club in Liverpool where they welcome children on the autism spectrum? And obviously, I don't know every provision that's out there. Nobody possibly could do that. So what I do is I put a shout out on my Facebook, and I say, hello, everyone, can you help me? I've got a mom here who needs this information. And then everyone jumps in. And that's what's fantastic about it. So I think at this moment in time, obviously, things are difficult. We're working through the new normal. It's affecting a lot of people's mental health and well-being. So we're trying to support each other even more. So yeah, that's the good thing about social media. But I do know, obviously, that there's the negative side, you know, the bullying, and but we've just got to keep driving forward, keep driving the message forward that we want to create, and for acceptance and for awareness. So yeah, it's tough, and I keep saying to parents, one day at a time. Some days good, some days not so good.
Well, I think with most people, positives override the negatives, especially on social media. Now, with everything going on in the world, I think instead of going outside, mixing, socializing, more people have gone onto internet and have gone onto social media, and
Yeah,
cyberbullying's 100% going to go up now because there are a lot of people in the world who just think differently, and it's kind of a sick way, but there
yeah.
are people out there, if you just keep searching and digging, you always find the good side of the internet. You always
You
find
do. I always say to people that if they start getting bullied or trolled on social media, just block them. Don't engage with them, because that's what they want. They're keyboard warriors, and with this enough negativity in the world, you don't need any more. I always say, put your blinkers on. If you know what you do, and you can put your hand on your heart, that you uh, working for the best possible outcomes for children and adults on the spectrum, or for yourself. Just keep going. Any of the bullies that are trying to troll you, just block them. Don't engage.
yeah, because the main thing, they just want attention, and you just got to not give them
How
that.
are you finding lockdown, if you don't mind me asking? So,
uh,
obviously, a little bit more easier, if you like. But how are you finding the whole thing?
Oh, well, it's definitely had a massive effect on my mental health, I can't focus on things like for a long period of time. I'm not really that motivated that I was before, but now I'm starting to get used to it because it was a massive shock. One minute, we were all living happily at the start, and then we hear about this virus, and not soon after, we're now in lockdown. It was kind of a big change for me, and I think with humans, it's kind of hard to adapt to change that's happening so fast. That's why normally things. That's why when we're doing campaigns, it normally takes a long time to get used to it and for it to be in effect. So when something happens so quickly, it just has a massive effect on your mental health. And yeah. But now I think I'm getting back into it, and these
Well, the
interviews.
thing is, you're thinking out the box, aren't you? You're thinking, right, what can I do with my
Yeah.
time? Obviously it's different, so you're doing something positive. So
Hmm.
you're raising an awareness of different conditions. So you to be applauded for that, Nick.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you've done absolutely amazing job over lockdown. You've in a way utilized like the situation with everyone going on social media, and you've reached out to so many more people, so many more families, and you've helped them. So yeah, thank you for that. So I think we've spoke a lot on that question, and you've done absolutely amazing. You're born for this. And onto my second question. We spoke about your journey, and you didn't really receive the help that you really should have had when you were going through it. But if you had to choose one person or group of people that really kept you motivated and really helped you on, who were your role models?
Um, I was looking at that question, and I've been asked it before about who is do I have a role model? I don't really have a particular person who's a role model for me. I love people that overcome adversity, like yourself. I love people that turn things around and make a negative into a positive, and use creativity. I love all my team that I'm working with, because they're so passionate and driven like I am, and we work well together, and we've been working together for a number of years. And I that those are role models for me, and my ambassadors are role models for other children and adults, and also to families, to show that there is some light at the end of the tunnel. And I know it's really difficult as a parent of two men on the spectrum that are very different from each other, and the system is tough. So you need to be able to navigate the system. So for me, I don't have a particular role model, but I admire people that turn things around, and make something out of a negative into a positive, and just drive forward.
Yeah, you know, it comes up a lot. I ask this to all of the people that I interview because I think it's so interesting to find out, you know, because all of the people that I interview are absolutely inspirational, just like yourselves. And it's interesting to see who really helped them to become who they were today. And yeah, you know, I get different answers, whether or not family, whether or not a big personality like Barack Obama or a TV personality. But yeah, you know, it's the people that really stand out and make that change because it's this the most probably the most philosophical question there is what is the meaning of life? And people ask this will never know the answer, but you can only assume that it is to make this world a better place, to live our life to the fullest. And yeah, those people who are doing just like yourselves are all role models to everyone, and including myself, you know, because they're one step in the right direction. And you know, that's absolutely amazing. Yeah,
That's right. I think with the lockdown and COVID, I think people value their family more,
yeah,
and you've obviously been able to have more family time at home. So I suppose as well, my role models have been my sons, because
mm,
everything that I've done is because of them, and
yeah.
they've driven me forward. And then other children and adults have benefited from what I've been doing. So I suppose I could say that my sons are my role models.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's great. You know, we don't have to have one role model. We can have tons, you know, because they've all been a part of our journey of made us better. And yeah,
yeah.
absolutely amazing. You know, it's great to hear that from you. So now on to a bit more on the funner side. You know, you've done so much work for the community. I'd like to know what emotions were going through your head or through your body when you received your well-deserved OBE.
Well, shock at first. I remember my husband telling me that there was a letter on the mantelpiece for me that looked like it was from Buckingham Palace. So I said, "Well, open it then." He went, "No, no, no, I want you to open it." So when I came in from work, I opened it, and you know when you read something, you
Yeah,
just think, "Have I just read that correctly?"
I
And
know.
then I read it again, and then I just felt like my heart go, whew! And I showed it to my husband, and I was skipping around the lounge. Yeah, and it was like so grateful, and it was a fantastic experience. And for me, when I win awards and such fantastic things like an OBE, I use it as well to my advantage,
Yeah.
because then it helps me open even more doors
Reach.
for the work that I do. So I've got a little mini OBE here to show you.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I've got the real thing at home, but my mum and my mother-in-law, they wanted a mini one, so I bought them a mini one. And then on my charity website, you can actually see me receiving the OBE from the Queen as a YouTube. And there's just a little photograph of her.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. You know, it's well
So
deserved.
it was happening in the morning. So I went along to Buckingham Palace, met so many wonderful people there. I met Kate Winslet as well. She came over to chat to me. And Gary Barlow, he got his OBE there as well. So that all happened in the morning. And then I went back home, and then it was back to feet on the ground, doing the washing, doing everything else that you got to do at home. So I just thought, what a weird and wonderful experience.
Yeah, you know, it's amazing. You know, it's well deserved because the journey that comes behind that, you know, you've got to remember that. And yeah, it's just it all came together. And you know, the OBE was just a start of something new. It gave you that platform to
Yeah,
progress
it
even
was
further.
2012, so quite a few years ago now.
I, yeah, but it is well deserved. Absolutely, 100. So yeah, that was great to hear that from you, you know, because I haven't spoke to someone who's received such a high prestige awards, even though, you know, we're all inspirational in our own ways. And yeah, you know, it's great to hear that.
Well,
So
hopefully in the years to come you'll get one.
oh, thank you so much. I can only
Keep
dream
working hard
to achieve what you have.
and believe in what you do, and just keep moving forward. You got a Diana Award, I believe.
Oh yeah, yeah, I did, and yeah, that was probably that one of the highlights of my life, you know, because
Yeah.
that really my first time I was recognised for what I did. So that was amazing.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, I've been a couple of times, because I've nominated a couple of my one of them was my patrons, Ryan Wiggins. He received it, and then one of my Autism's Got Talent performers, I nominated Calvin, and he received one. So I went to both their award ceremonies. It was lovely.
Oh, now that you've mentioned that, you know what? Before I did this, I tried to fit all the questions. I did a bit of background search on your journey, and I noticed that you did an Autism Got Talent, and that really stood out to me. I was like, wow, this is the first time that's happened. That's absolutely amazing. So, can you tell us a bit more about that? Because it's
Yeah.
so.
Autumn's Got Talent's been going for 10 years next year now, so it's amazing. It started because I met a lady called Debbie Moore, who's the founder of Pineapple Dance Studios.
Oh,
And then she introduced me to Maggie Patterson, who's the principal of Pineapple Performing Arts. And we were also given through Pineapple Performing Arts 8 scholarships for some of my members of the charity. So that was amazing. But I met her, I told her about what I wanted to do, about my idea, and it was on the back of the anti-bullying campaign, Give Us a Break, because children and adults were being bullied within the community, online, at school. But also what they were doing was sending me video links of them singing, dancing, playing acoustic, electric instruments. There was bands, there was poets, there was magicians, gymnasts. Amazing. So I thought, I've got to do something with this. So I was invited to one of their shows, and it was at the Mermaid Theatre. So I spoke to a couple of people there, and I spoke to Maggie and the stage manager, and I said, I'd really like to do a show here. Would you help me? So they said, yeah, come on, let's do it. So we decided to work together, and the first show was in 2012, I think it was now. And it was just like mind-blowing. People were talking about it for weeks and weeks and weeks. Some people before the show saying, no, it can't be done, no one's ever done it before. And for me, when people tell me things can't be done, it makes me want to do it even more.
yeah.
So it was just amazing. I've got a picture of our very first show. So that's it there. Can you see it?
Oh yeah. Wow, that's amazing.
So this is Peter Dixon, the chap in the middle there, and he's the voice for X Factor, Britain's Got Talent. So he's the one that goes, this is Autism's Got Talent, or this is Britain's Got Talent. So I messaged him and I said, Peter, would you mind doing it for Autism's Got Talent? He said, I'll come along as well. So that was amazing. So I love that photograph because that was the first year that we did. Yes, so it's been going, as I say, for 10 years, and now we have performers from all over the world: Croatia, Sweden, America, Canada, France, Italy. So it's become world known. We're supposed to be doing it in June this year, but sadly we had to postpone it, which was gutting because we just chosen our 20 performers for this year. So we've now moved it to next year, so May the 8th. So if you'd like to come, it's our 10th year anniversary, and we're going to make it special. And hopefully by then we'll be able to have all of our performers perform on stage, and the audience come along, and our celebrities as well that support what we do. So Autumn's Got Talent, I say 10 years, and it's also a roadshow. So I take it to different parts of the country. So again, we're supposed to be going to St Ives, we were supposed to be going to Cheshire. Oh, it's just we've had to cancel everything this year. That's the downside for me for COVID and lockdown, because we can't do our events. So our autumn till next year. Our expo, we managed to do that online a couple of weeks ago. Obviously, it wasn't the same, but we thought we'll give it a go. So we had 4 speakers on one day, 4 speakers on the next day, and it worked really, really well. So we think we're going to do that all the time now. So I have one at Brunel University, but also have one online, because a lot of people that can't travel are able to watch the speakers online. And I've started doing things now like all things autism with Anna, chatting with Anna. So I did Casey Ainsworth last week, one of our charity patrons, who's an actress. She was Little Morn EastEnders. Her husband's on the spectrum, and also her son. And then I've got coming up in mid-August, Carrie Grant. So she's going to be chatting to me, talking about her family. And then in September, I've got Richard Mylan, who is also an actor, but autistic himself. And he has a son called Jacko. And I'm going to be chatting to him. So I'm thinking of doing different things all the time to keep everybody motivated and to keep spreading the word.
Well, that's absolutely amazing. You know, when you first made it, it was something that was new. and we have to keep thinking of these new ideas, and that's absolutely
We do.
amazing. Honestly,
Hmm.
you have to um, you have to introduce new things to the wider community, and you have to get them involved, and you have to make
We do.
them do something. Yeah, but 100%. When I was reading through, it's just I looked at it and then I read a bit more about it, and I just wanted to hear it from you because it's absolutely amazing. And
Yeah, we've got it's been on television as well. Autumn's Got Talent, forgot to say, and then Katie Price's son Harvey is one of our anti-bullying ambassadors. So he performed as well on stage. And Katie at the minute's doing a documentary for the BBC called Harvey and Me, because he's 18 and now he's looking for provision for adulthood. So
mm,
Katie came along to the college that were set up all those years ago, and she met my son Angelo, and yeah, it was lovely. So that's going to be, I believe, on October the 12th. The date's not quite finalised yet, but you'll see Katie coming to the college, chatting to me, chatting to my son Angelo. So that's going to be on BBC One.
wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I'll definitely be watching that. That sounds absolutely great. And happy 10th year anniversary as well.
Yeah, next
So
year we'll have to get a big cake.
yeah, you have to. Yeah.
Are you
Mhm.
into cake?
Yeah, I love a bit of cake. I've always loved cake. Uh, yeah, I'm kind of like that sweet tooth person. I like chocolate cake, but I have to try and cut down now because, especially over lockdown, I think my
Yeah.
eating habits have definitely got worse. Yeah.
So you're going back to school in September?
If all things are cleared up, then yeah, I will be going back in September.
Have you been missing it?
Um, you know, yeah, kind of in a way. When I first started lockdown, it's like, well, this thing's getting serious now, and now it's just I want to meet with my friends at school, and yeah, starting to miss it now. So yeah. So yeah, that was
So,
great to hear that from you as well. Oh, wait, did you want to say something? Did you want to say something?
um, can you hear me?
I think you're cutting out a little bit, but can you hear me?
Okay, let me go a little bit closer. Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, I can. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
So
just saying about how was home education for you?
oh, it's not been good, honestly. It's kind of hard
Not
for
the
me to
same.
focus on something. I can't focus on something for long, and that like motivation that I got at school, it really just went away. So yeah, uh, you
Okay,
know, yeah, on that side of it, yeah, I would rather be in school. Um,
okay. Well, hopefully in September everyone will be back.
yeah. So it was great to hear that from you, honestly, because I was really interested in that. But you know, if you had a message that you wanted to share to someone, what would it be? What would you share to everyone?
My message has always been, and always has been, is no matter how you're feeling, never give up. So it's either you can give up, give in, give it all you've got, and then some. So that's for me. I always remember when I was younger, my dad used to say to me, no matter how you're feeling, get yourself out of bed, get yourself out there, type of thing, and just keep going. And that's what I've always done. And even though sometimes I might have only had 2 hours sleep, 3 hours sleep, or I'm not feeling so good, I just get on with it. And I think that's, and obviously you need time out now and again. I know I am a workaholic, but that's just my makeup. But yeah, I'm a person that never gives in. I'm quite driven and I'm quite passionate. And I think when I don't feel those feelings anymore, I think that's the time to stop. So I haven't stopped feeling like that, so I'm keeping going.
That's all you can do, really. Just keep on going, keep on striving, keep on achieving new things.
Yep.
Never give up, and that's probably a thing that you should live by because we're given this life and we have to achieve it and try and live it to the fullest. And we do that by never giving up. So yeah, 100%
Mhm.
agree with you there. That's a great quote to live by. And now on to my final question. Um,
Yep.
what would you say to a child or an adult? What would you say to someone if they feel that they didn't fit in?
Okay. Um, I know it's a very, very tough feeling to deal with. And there's no easy answers because obviously everyone's so different and everyone feels things differently. And one thing I think I would say is stop caring about what people think.
Yeah.
I used to be like that. I used to care about what people think. But then if you live like that, you're never going to achieve anything. So don't care what people think. As long as you can put your hand on your heart and say, you know, I'm proud of who I am. I'm doing what I'm doing because I'm passionate and I'm driven for it. So say, for example, my son, Patrick, he's always been passionate about dinosaurs and paleontology. And he's worried about talking to people about it in case they made fun of him or whatever. But as he's got older, he's thinking, I really love this subject, this topic. And I have always said to him, Patrick, why don't you get a job? Why don't you do a degree in it? But he's always thought, oh, it's my hobby. It might be spoilt if I do it as a job or what have you. He has been criticised and bullied for like talking about paleontology and dinosaurs because it's, I would say probably 90% of his conversation is about dinosaurs. And now the penny suddenly dropped and he thought, I don't care what people think.
Yeah.
If they don't like me talking about it, they're not my real friends, if you like. So today he's gone off to the Jurassic Coast on his own for 5 days to
Wow.
Weymouth, and he is so excited this morning. So it's taken us a longer to get to where he is now. He's also going to university, starting in October, to do paleontology and earth sciences. So he's finally doing it, and he said, Mum, I'm really glad I'm doing this now. He said, I wish I'd have done it before. But I said, well, just take it from today. You can't relive the past. You can only live today and moving forward. So what I say to people is, I know it's not a nice feeling to feel that you don't fit in, but don't worry about what people think. You know, just do what you want to do because you only get one life and one chance at it. And yeah, so Patrick's happy now. He's in his happy place because he's doing something that he's always loved.
Yeah, you know, you got to do what's best for you. If you feel happy about doing something, you really shouldn't be caring about what other people think. Because as
Mm.
long as you're in that right place, you think that you're going to really enjoy this, that's all that matters, isn't it?
Yeah.
And yeah,
You don't want to live a life of regrets, do you?
yeah, nah. And you know, before lockdown all came in, we did this small little talk in my school, and we're talking um and we were talking about different things about your jobs in the future. And I said something about it's always better to find a job, to think of a job when you're younger. So when you're younger, you know, if you always have that strive for passion for something, you always think of what will make your life, what the funnest job would be, you know. And when you grow older, that consciousness comes in saying, "Oh, I'm not allowed to do that. Oh, I'm not allowed to do that because I have to do this." But you know, you always have to enjoy your job. You always have to enjoy your career. And I enjoy what I'm doing right now. And I started it when I was young, and that was a massive part of why I'm doing it now. And I find it so fun to be speaking to other people like you as well, and it's absolutely been phenomenal. It's been amazing. So yeah, yeah, don't care what people think. Always do what you want.
No, just do what you want to do because then you don't live a life of regrets and you'll think, oh, I wish I'd have done that. Oh, I wish I'd have done that.
Mm,
Just do it.
yeah. Well, so is that's all my questions, and you've answered them with perfection. I'd like to thank you so much for coming on and speaking with me. Time is precious, especially for you, and yeah, it's been absolutely amazing.